and Happy New Year to you all. I'm incredibly honored to be here today to give this talk to the Sangha. We had a wonderful service this morning and a wonderful sit together, and it's always a good chance to be inspired by the powerful practice we have together, albeit either online or in person together. I want to quickly thank Sensei for allowing me to do this. I'm especially thankful that he took it easy on me and only gave me the Dhammapada as a topic. It's just a seminal Buddhist text, one of the original teachings of the Buddha himself. And even then, Sensei said, let's just do chapter 1, verses 1 through 5. Whew, slam dunk. I could surely handle that. These verses only cover the importance of the mind, using the mind to defend against suffering, cause and effect, how to overcome hatred. Basically, they are, in their own right, full and not lacking in their guidance. The pair of verses, coupled 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and capped with verse 5, poetically and efficiently provide huge truths in a digestible way. Stepping back and speaking broadly of the Dhammapada, the translator of the version I'm using today, Eknath Eswaran, sorry if I got your name wrong, says, quote, if everything else were lost, we would need nothing more than the Dhammapada to follow the way of the Buddha, end quote. And he went on to add, quote, these verses can be read and appreciated simply as wise philosophy. As such, they are part of the great literature of the world. But for those who would follow it to the end, the Dhammapada is a sure guide to nothing less than the highest goal life can offer, self-realization, end quote. For today, the wisdom of the 123 words of verses 1 through 5 will be our collective map for this journey towards self-realization. And quickly as an aside, this was probably the second book I bought at the beginning of my practice. My beginner's mind was frankly blown away and overwhelmed, but overwhelmingly intrigued. I highlighted all over it, and I would just read it and read it again. If you notice, the section that I'm doing today, I did highlight a year and a half or more ago, so I found some importance of it even then. I will go ahead and read the verses to you now. You will notice quickly the form that these verses take and how repetition is used. So the Dhammapada begins, verse 1, quote, our life is shaped by our mind. We become what we think. Suffering follows an evil thought as the wheels of a cart follow the oxen that draw it. Verse 2. Our life is shaped by our mind. We become what we think. Joy follows a pure thought, like a shadow that never leaves. Verse 3. He was angry with me. He attacked me. He defeated me. He robbed me. Those who dwell on such thoughts will never be free from hatred. Verse 4. He was angry with me. He attacked me. He defeated me. He robbed me. Those who do not dwell on such thoughts will surely become free from hatred. Verse 5. For hatred can never put an end to hatred. Love alone can. This is an unalterable law. End of verse 5. As I mentioned before, these 5 verses alone cover topics and individual points of significance that each deserve their own series of talks, let alone me trying to do them all in one. So I would like to be even more refined than I had initially planned, and I really wish to talk to you today specifically about the first 2 verses on the mind. It is incredible, the interplay between simplicity and complexity within the mind. I suppose it's the perfect Zen paradox. For instance, the concept of beginner's mind. Okay, that seems simple enough. Approach life without some concept of familiarity. Drop off the categories and preconceptions you have for everything and just be fully present with your intentions. This presence is empty and able to accept all things fully. Okay, I got it. But why is this so challenging? The difficulty is that setting intentions and staying present with the moment are straightforward conceptually, but relentlessly challenged by infinite outside influences. Our once pure intentions and presence quickly get hijacked by our delusive thoughts and cling to what we wish life was versus what life is. We need to continue to come back to the text as a guide and a compass pointing us towards liberation. When we lose sight of where we are, we need to come back to the map. Another text that we studied all the way back in 2025, Shinjin Mei, begins with something to the effect of, the great way isn't difficult. Just avoid picking and choosing, or just avoid preferences. This line seems like it is working directly alongside the opening verses of the Dhammapada, and Zen is really great for this, because if there's a specific text that doesn't quite land for you, the practitioner, there is likely another text that points to the very same conclusion that is more digestible. Our mind's ability or inability to avoid living our lives as a series of preferences directly correlates to our ability for self-realization. As we sit and stew in the gap between our preferences and the reality we find ourselves in, the chance to be present has all but vanished. We have lamented the differences instead of being open to them. As we go on in our practice, we strive to be present with what is. We return to our breath and return to the present moment as it manifests, being actualized by this very second. What can be so difficult about grasping the line, quote, "Our life is shaped by our mind. We become what we think," end quote, is the sheer amount of times we encounter potholes that try to separate us from our Buddha nature or from our not knowing sense of wonder. There may be 75 times during your commute to work alone that, let's just say, disturb your mind, trying to get you to categorize and to judge. The guy that cut you off 13 blocks ago is still trying to be on your mind. You know that the text says, quote, "Our life is shaped by our mind. We become what we think," end quote. But we also know what we think is that we want that guy to take his foot and shove it. Never mind. You get the point. And for another fun arena filled with potholes and rough terrain, social media then enters the fray. Here, even the most skilled of practitioners will have to, as Sensei says, direct their attention to their intention and be strong to practice wise speech and compassion for all sentient beings. When hot takes and bold opinions decorate your MacBook from friends, colleagues, and all various public figures, it is problematic. The reality is that it's not just another slice, the reality is that it is just another slice of our lives that presents seemingly endless obstacles on our way to inner peace. Imagine the difficulties this provides for the layperson with little to no training. Even during Zazen, even when we are in proper posture, breathing, upright like a tree and feeling balanced, mind weeds, as Shunryu Suzuki speaks of, begin to pop up. Our pain is more pronounced. The temperature seems a bit on the hot side. I really am beginning to wonder if I'm making the right choice. Metal or jazz for the ride home today? The last one surely isn't autobiographical at all. Not even sitting Zazen is free from the countless and countless interferences that can derail our mind in its pure thoughts that lead to joy, as described in verse 2. You see, it's so simple. The direction is clear and without any confusion. The text says it. Quote, "Our life is shaped by our mind. We become what we think. Suffering follows an evil thought, as the wheels of a cart follow the oxen that draw it. Our life is shaped by our mind. We become what we think. Joy follows a pure thought, like a shadow that never leaves," end quote. As we go through our days, we must be intentional and return to our breath, returning to our lives as they are. As we navigate the myriad circumstances that aim to derail us, we need to wipe out the excess noise and return to the moment fully and without any filter. Look at the moon, not just the finger pointing at it. If you are able to carry the simplicity of the message of these verses with you in your life and apply them directly and fully, there is no doubt that you will be well on your way in your practice. But I do warn that practicing the simple does not reduce by any means the ardor and diligence it takes to navigate life's mind weeds and remain pure in thought. As I drove here this morning, I had nearly an hour to think. Uh-oh. The mind began to wander. I've never given a talk here before. Maybe it's going to be a complete train wreck. Will my words and tone match the seriousness I take this responsibility, let alone this practice as a whole? It would be easier to just push it off until another day. Sound familiar? Don't answer that, Sensei. I needed to look no further than the subject of my talk to regain focus and sit before you right now. It truly, truly is incredible, the interplay between simplicity and complexity within the mind. Stay here, stay present, and do not succumb to the mind weeds. Observe them as they arise, and just keep trying, just keep going. Return to the breath over and over, and return to your mind's intention. There is a reason we call it practice. It is the new year, so please ensure that all of you have set your own personal intentions. And lastly, and particularly set apart from anything else I have mentioned, I want to say this. From the current reality of our complicated world, I firmly believe that the answers to what causes us such intense division and a severe lack of compassion as a people can be found in these 5 verses. But again, just because the pathway is laid out neatly and without confusion, it still requires incredible work and dedication.